Hey, what's up guys? This is Hans from the Eclectic Podcast, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Jetfire. I'm a Jetfire fan. I had him as a kid, the original Macross, Robotech, Valkyrie, but I saw this one and it reminded me a lot of the Phoenix that came out from Fans Toys, and so I wanted to take a look at it. I mean, the price point was good. It wasn't as expensive as Phoenix was, and I just kind of wanted to see what Hasbro would give us with this kind of thing. Their quality has been back and forth. I do like nowadays that they've been partnering a lot more with Takra in their creations of these Transformers. So real quick, take a look at the front of the box here. We do have Omega Supreme down there in the corner. We have Jetfire, of course, up there on top. Generations logo, Takra Tomy. Side of the box, you got some really cool artwork from the War for Cybertron with the Arc. Looks like RC or Chromia. Optimus Prime's head there up at the top. Side swipe. Back of the box, you do actually have the additional armor pieces that come with him. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. So this side of the package, of course, we just have the Arc taken off there, or the Arc on its platform. Top of the box, not much there, just the battle-damaged Autobot logo. And as for the bottom, just your warnings. So let's go ahead and let's open this box up and take a look at what's inside. Alright, so here he is out of the package. Real quick, we'll take a look at the accessories that he comes with, and he does come with quite a bit. So of course we do have instructions. Nothing too crazy about them, they're just black and white. And there he is, of course, in his armored mode. We have his double barrel gun, which is kind of his signature. And of course this does separate. Fold that down so you can dual wield his guns there. We have two of these cannon pieces done up in a black mold with some nice detailing, and then some nice gunmetal kind of paint right there on the barrels. We have two of these, I guess they're almost like missile pods. I think, yeah, you can separate these out if you so desire. We also have two more missile type pods, or missiles themselves. I'm not sure what you would call these exactly. Black molded plastic. You get a matching set. We also have his chest piece here, and if you open that up, that also hides his helmet. And then of course we have his blast effects that he comes with, which is kind of a nice touch. I was pretty impressed with these. And then we'll go into these more a little bit later. But yeah, so you got quite a few accessories that comes with him. Taking a look at the figure, he looks pretty good. Like I said, I was pretty impressed. The nice thing about it is that they did a great job of capturing, I think, the cartoon element of him. It's a tough call. As a kid, I had the original G1 Jetfire. Obviously, he did not look the way that he looks now. There's some really nice line work and everything. It's not a masterpiece. Real quick, just for comparison. So just to give you an idea of his size, there he is next to Fans Toys Phoenix. Like I said, like, line work on him looks incredible on the Jetfire from the War for Cybertron version. However, I mean, you just don't have some of that pop that you get like with the Fans Toys. So I wouldn't necessarily put him on my masterpiece shelf, you know, as part of the masterpiece collection. But I mean, if you don't have the Fans Toys, I mean, that looks pretty good. And also there he is with the Generations Jetfire. And of course he looks a lot better than that one. This one is kind of its own thing. At the same time, it does have some of that Macross kind of stylized version of itself kind of going on. And also, just kind of for comparison real quick, mold of MP10, so you kind of get an idea of the height difference. Which, of course, Jetfire should be taller than Optimus, so obviously he would be. If you put him on your masterpiece shelf, I think it would kind of fit okay. Just, it's not really what it's intended for. Let's take a closer look at that head sculpt. Really nice silver paint on that head sculpt, blue up on the crest. Kind of gives you an idea of the profile there. Looks really nice. Not as good as Fans Toys. I mean, Fans Toys was just incredible. His eyes are translucent blue, kind of a clear plastic, and there is light piping, but it's really difficult to get the light chambered into that little piece up on the crest there. So the light's supposed to, like, if you can get the light to go in there, then it would come out through his eyes. But it's really, it's kind of tough to do. I put my cell phone up to it just to kind of see if I could get it to work. And basically I had to put my cell phone right on it, and then the eyes would glow. Articulation wise on the head, you can do full Exorcist version. It goes up a little bit, and that's due to this plate here that the head actually sits on. You can go down that far. No emote like tilting side to side or anything like that. Taking a look at the chest, again, some really nice detail work going on down there. Red paint. You do have almost like a gunmetal gray on those vents down there at the bottom. Nice detail work on the arms. Kind of moving around. You have, it's almost paint elements on some of it, but at the same time, like, you got two different colors of white. So you got this kind of off-white back here, and then the white up on the chest piece area. And I'm pretty sure there's some paint work actually on here. And I don't know if it's just part of what they're doing for their battle damage for the Siege, for the Words for Cybertron. Of course, arms. They're ratcheted going up and down, obviously. You want to be careful whenever you move it down, because this will dislocate from his chest piece up here. So moving the shoulder up, that's as high as you can get it. Of course, let me hold this in place, move that back down. Arms they would be able to do a full 360, but you're going to get hindered by his backpack. He does have a bicep swivel. Elbow will get you a little bit better than 90 degrees, actually quite a bit better. And it's a weird joint because it's not connected all the way through. As for the hands themselves, they do have this really neat feature, which I'm sure you guys have seen already. When you open the hand up, it moves his gun peg back behind, and you can close that back up. Looking at his waist here, he does actually have a bit of a rotation there at his waist. It's not much, but you do get one. And it's just really, really tight to move. Moving down into the legs here, hip skirts can come up. Friction joint out. Go that far forward. He would almost be able to go all the way back, but of course he's going to get hindered by his backpack. Gives you an upper thigh swivel and that rotation there. Seeing that detail work again down here on the knees. We do have that kind of gunmetal gray going on, which looks really nice. Which gives way then to this red plastic, and again some really nice line work down there. You do have a knee that'll go about 90 degrees, and looking at that joint, I like how actually they designed that, because it doesn't break the sculpt at all as it bends. Coming around to the front, again, I think this is plastic, and then there's some paintwork down here on the front shin area. Let's see if I can adjust that a little bit more. This feels like paint down here, and I don't know if it actually is or not, but you kind of got that contrast of the white with that off-white again. If we look a little bit further down, you can see the gunmetal on the feet themselves. Looks really nice. Kind of gives it a nice kind of a fade paint job, and they actually did a pretty good job with the line work on here. I'm not seeing a lot of overspray or anything like that, so that looks pretty good. I like that paint job. Moving around to the back, of course that gunmetal continues. Then we have this nice paint work back here. Some piston type designs back here in the leg going in back into the knee. Of course there we have the gunmetal again. Rocket boosters, and then we go up into his backpack. Again, really nice job with that line detail that they've got going on here. One other thing I want to mention on his feet, you can tilt them down Up front, I mean, you get just kind of a rocker, but that's due to transformation. Same thing with the back heel spur area. And you also do have kind of an ankle joint right there. You can get a pretty deep bend, but you go too far, and of course you're going to break the sculpt. So again, from distance, kind of like just his front look, he looks really, really solid, looks great. I like how they broke apart that canopy right there. It looks like it extends all the way down, but because of the way that it folds back in, as you'll see when we go through transformation, that allows you to get that that waist movement that you do get. And it's not a lot, but it is something there. Another thing I want to mention in his front chest area here is that this logo can flip around, and he can be either Autobot or Decepticon, depending on how you want to look at him. Kind of his side profile, of course, he does have a big backpack, but you'd kind of expect that with a bot this size. And especially, I mean, it's Jetfire. You got to have his boosters on the back. Coming around to the back, he does look pretty clean, I think, in my opinion. Now, before we start getting his armor on him, let's take a look at his blast effects. You get 3 of these, and they break into 3 pieces. So you've got this is a piece, and this is a piece. So essentially what you could do is you could take, say, his cannon here, right? And you can plug that in there to give you a little bit of firepower. If you wanted to, you know, flurry it up a little bit, plug that piece into there, then that piece into there, and you've got that kind of a deal going on. Now, the other thing is that he's got ports all over him, and I think with the ports that are all over him, you can take those blast effects and actually plug them onto those ports and make it look like he's being shot at too. So you can give it that kind of a feel too, where it looks like kind of ricochet or bullets pounding off him. The missile gun piece, you can even plug that onto the tip of that for that type of action. Take out the back piece of it, you know, kind of do that thing. You can do, I mean, you got a lot of different options with it. So let's go ahead and let's look at getting him armored up. Start off with the chest piece. Open this up. Push out his mask. He's got these little tabs right here on his chest piece that we're going to open up. Inside of here, there's a slot in there, or an insert for the slots there, and those are going to tab into there. So let's see if we can get those plugged in here. So those plugged into there. We can take his mask piece here. Just plug that onto his head. What you want to do with the gun pieces, we can take these ones here, plug that onto his side. Do the same thing with the opposite side. You got a lot of different options. You can put him there, you can put him down here on his legs, take his cannon. Of course, with his hand closed, plug that into there. He's got posts that can come up off the wings. The easiest way to do that is just lift that up, then fold it back down. Then you can flip those out. Same thing on this side. Take these missile pods here, work them on, work those on there, attach some blast effects here, and that's him all armored up. I think he looks pretty cool. I like having the option of the blast effects, and you can kind of armor it up any way you want. I mean, if you want to take these guns, put it down there, you can. You totally can. The only thing that I think it's missing from like the Macross Robotech kind of feel would be the antenna coming off the helmet piece. All right, let's go through transformation form. We're going to start off with the legs. Close up the heel. Close up the front. Same thing on the opposite side. Oh, backwards. Heel, front. Then we're going to take, let's see if we get a good angle here. Take this panel here. Just work that out. It's on a double hinge. So on the back here, we have the post, then we have a hole. Take that, make sure that kind of locks into place, at which point you'll kind of lower the legs down. Gonna shorten him up a little bit. Same thing on the opposite side. Now before we get those two locked into place, what we're gonna do next is move his jet piece here. Just kind of lift up, work it back, and then on the back of these thrusters, there's a hole there, and a post on the back of those rockets. Just going to kind of line those up. Same thing with the opposite side. Line those up like that. And now we've got them in midget mode. Take these chest pieces here. You'll take these, lift these up. We can start to lift up the whole nose section here. And something cool they've got a little trap door back behind his head there. So when you lift that up, that just folds inside. Now for the hands, close them up. Flip them out of those little posts there. Flip that out. Make sure the hands are square. Plug that back into place. Opposite side, same thing. Fold it out, close up the hand. Flip that piece out. Make sure they're square. Close them back in. Alright, back to what we were doing here. Get that up out of the way. So on the arms themselves, we've got these little holes. We've got these posts up here. So you need to kind of condense the arm itself. It'll kind of fold in upon itself a little bit. Fold that piece down. Rock that piece in. Basically, you just turn both those arms inward, tuck in those pieces there, and there's a post on this side and a hole on this side. They're supposed to plug together before we can plug it into this back piece area, but I can never get those things to go together. Once we tap these arms into here, we can come back over to the nose cone, extend that out, straighten it. Then you want to come to these flaps here. Extend them out. And there is, get this to come over. There's a tab there. There's a tab inside of there that's supposed to correspond to a slot in the inside of the wing there, or on the inside of this side piece. And I can never quite get that to work. So you want to move that like that. Same thing on this side. Fold it down. Just come back. Find those corresponding slots for it. And get those moved into place. Now on the wing pieces, you want to take this, flatten that out. Take the aileron, move it out. There's another one inside of here. You kind of want to tab together. Swing the wing down until it locks into place. Same with the opposite side. Level that out. Move that aileron down. Swing this one out. Again, swing down until it locks into place. You can adjust these wings here, bring them up. Kind of position however you want to put them. Down here we have landing gear. Up here in the nose cone we have another one, which I can never seem to get because I don't have nails. And there he is in jet mode. I think it's fairly respectable. I do think he looks better in bot mode more so than jet mode. He's got some gaps that kind of happen down in here. He rolls fairly well. That's what he looks like from the back. On the side, he looks pretty good. Another thing you can do is you can fold this nose piece down, and that'll allow you to lift up this cockpit piece, and you could remove this. So you can pull this out, and that gives you, I guess what they call the brain box. And then if you have a Titan Master, you can actually seat it inside of there. And just kind of close that back up. There's also a couple other little options down here that we have in jet mode that you can take advantage of. if you look down here, if you slide this skirt piece forward, this will actually give you a handle that you use to carry other Autobots or anything like that whenever, you know, like if your kids were playing with him or something like that. He's also got a couple more hand grips up here, so you can carry like just a whole armada of Autobots in for battle. Or Decepticons, depending on how you have his emblem set. You can still take all your gun pieces here, plug them all together in that chest piece armor. Lay down these here. Take this post, plug it into that port back there at the back. Then he can carry all of his armaments into battle. Or, I mean, you do have the other ports here. You could plug missiles in down here if you wanted to. However you wanted to do it. Then, of course, you can take the blast effects, plug those into the back, and really make it look like he's just thrusting for all he's worth. Taking off. I mean, and you can do it however stages you want to do it. I mean, you can take the blast effects, put them into the cannons up front. And I think that's one of the biggest things between this version of Jetfire and like Fans Toys Phoenix is that this is truly like an action figure, where Fans Toys Phoenix feels a lot more like, almost like a sculpture. So, I really think this guy's cool. I think bang for the buck. I think he's well worth it. I mean, Fans Toys Phoenix was about $200. This guy's like $79.99. So I think he's well worth the purchase. He comes with a lot of playability. He's a really cool homage to the original Jetfire from the cartoon. And I think they really did a great job with it. It's not Fans Toys, but it wasn't priced to be Fans Toys. But at the same time, it still has a lot of playability and a lot of detail. So that's my opinion on it. Let me know down below what you guys kind of think, and I will talk to you all soon. Peace out. Bye.